Today I'm going to share a few methods for connecting multiple devices using NetDevOps. These are the commonly used methods. The first method is for when you have a small number of device information. For instance, if you are connecting to just 2, 3, or up to 5 devices, you can take this device information and directly write it into your Python document. Because it's only 4 or 5 devices, right? It's relatively few. Just like how I do it, right? Like 2 Cisco iOS and 1 NXOS and 1 Juniper, right? That makes 4. So we take these 4 pieces of device information and just write them down directly. After writing, you can simply iterate through them. Can't you connect to each one directly? This is the first method. It's suitable when you have relatively few devices. The second method is when you have relatively more devices. You can take the IP address of these devices, the usernames, passwords, including your enable password, and write them into a TXT document, just like this, writing them line by line. Then we can take this and open this TXT document to read, right? Each line just contains this information, right? After that, based on the spaces here, we split it, and then we can extract the IP address, username, password, and the 3 secrets, which are the enable passwords. This is the second method. Write it into this TXT. Then the third method is actually to write to a YAML file. For example, like this. Let's take a look. In the YAML file, I wrote 1 device, 2 devices, 3 devices, right? So of course, if you have more devices, you can write more. Put the device information into this YAML file. Then afterward, we use Python, which comes with this standard library, which is the YAML library, to read the device information from this library and then make the device connections and configurations. It can all be written to the YAML file. Apart from this method, there is another method. Take a look. If your username and password and device type are the same, just write it like this. Then below, it's just the host name and IP address. Actually, we mainly use the IP address. That YAML file can. This is the third method. The fourth method allows us to write this device information directly into this Excel file, like a TXT file, a YAML file, and our fourth kind, this Excel file. It's suitable for managing a large number of devices, right? Then I write them all into this Excel. Unified reading, connecting, and configuring. That Excel, take a look. We can also handle Excel. Actually, there are many methods. For instance, using OpenPixel, you can read it, right? The commonly used one is to use the pandas library to directly read this device information from the Excel file. Then after reading out the information, you construct the device information template and then connect. That Excel is suitable for managing large quantities. This is the fourth method, and there's one more. I haven't done this one. That is to put it into a database. You know, our Python has various modules for handling different databases, right? For example, MySQL. Actually, you can also read with pandas. So everyone, there's also that specialized handling. For example, some modules can read directly from the database. Like reading from a database is more suited for something like developing your own operations and maintenance platform, right? You've built a platform. So it's like having a system website or something. A system, in that case, you need to connect to the database. Then your devices might all be stored in the database, and you'll need to use this database approach. These are the 5 methods. Let's review them. The first method is when you have a few devices, you write directly into the Python document. The second method we can write into a TXT file. Then the third method we can write into a YAML file, right? The fourth method we can use an Excel file. The fifth method is that we can also use